Welcome to the One-on-One, a podcast about anything and everything with no topic being off limits.
I'm loving this show.
Listen, my whole family loves it, man.
It's the only podcast I listen to.
Each week, we deliver in-depth conversations and interviews based on getting to know our guests. Are you ready to go one-on-one?
Yep.
Here's your host, Adam FatefulEndingz Gibson.
What's going on, guys? FatefulEndingz here. And as always, you can catch the one-on-one on Spotify, on Anchor, and after this, recorded and put on YouTube, youtube.com/FatefulEndingz. But today, and I know I promised you a weekly series, things have been happening. I've been working and selected being an adult. But today, we are back with another guest, and we are here with somebody who has recently made their reappearance within my life. And that is Cade.
Yeah, I'll never forget when we met at that one orgy.
It was a good orgy. It was a very good one.
Some people call it a furry orgy, but I just call it having fun.
Is that the one where they were wearing the fursuits, or the one where we were covered in hot oil?
You know, it gets all mashed up in my mind, so who knows?
Just like how a certain substance gets mashed up in the fur. And I'm talking about food. Get your mind out of the gutter, people.
Yeah, we brought cat food just for that occasion.
But anyway, how's it going, Cade? What's been going on for you? How has it been going in your life?
Well, I got a new job cleaning out porta potties. You know, it's not that bad. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is you work at a store then?
Yeah. I work at a grocery store. But no, as you know, I make music, and I've been doing that for about 5 years, going on the 6th year. And right around October 2020, that's when it started really connecting for me. And you know, a lot of cool shit's been happening. Meeting a lot of cool new people, also meeting some not cool people. I don't know, I just love making music. And it's fun.
So when did this whole music thing, I guess, take off for you? You said around October 2020 is when it really started taking off, but like, when did you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to attempt to do and, you know, hope that it pans out the way that I see it panning out for me?
Well, I think that started in like 2016, or 2015, but I don't know if you've heard Cam say in the parties, like, that I was talking about being a musician whenever we were like in middle school and high school. Again, I kind of don't remember that. But like, I remember I had went on a vacation to Colorado. And you know me, I always loved music. Music's always been my life. I just didn't, I never was going to make it really. But then I went to Colorado and I'd already been thinking, I was like, what am I doing in my life? Because you know, as you grow up, you start thinking like, after you're getting in the rotation of life and you don't really think, well, what am I going to be doing for my future? And we went to Colorado. It was really mind-freeing. And then we went into a city, like a downtown Boulder, Colorado. And there was a bunch of like frat kids or fucking lame-ass kids battle rapping on a sidewalk. So I thought, I'm going to sit here for like 5 minutes and make a rap in my head, because like I wasn't going to be able to freestyle. I would have got tongue twisted. So I fucking hurried up and wrote some shit in my head, like, and set it on the mic, and then literally dropped the mic just to seem like a badass. It probably sucked, but like I went back to my friends and they're like, oh my god. It was funny, but I think I was like 20. I was 20. I was not 21, because I remember weed was legal and you gotta be 21, and I couldn't go in the dispensary. I'm 25 now, but yeah, that happened, and then I decided, well, when I get back to Louisiana, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna be fucking like, I'm gonna be rapping every day, because like that's my passion, dude. Fucking hip hop. I've been a hip hop head since I was a little kid, like Nas and shit, and Wu-Tang and Joey Badass. But started out freestyling, and I was literally recording on some dude's fucking computer, like the computer mic. It was terrible. And then somebody gave me a free mic. It was weird. It was a terrible mic, and I almost quit because I was like, this shit sucks. I was like, I am not good. And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a mic, and it's like the Focusrite mic that like starters get. I still have it. I don't use it though. But I was like, oh, I could sound good. But literally, I'm so hard-headed of a person, so it took me about 5 years to get my craft right. And literally, my craft was just everything I did in those 5 years, all combined in one.
And so where do you, I guess, see or hope that you're gonna go with this? Like, what do you believe you're gonna do?
I believe like within the next 3 years, I'm gonna be a well-known name in hip hop. Not like on like Billboard charts or making the most money, but I really think people are gonna respect me as an artist and a lyricist, because it's just like I have my own style, and like that style also has so much tradition in it. Kind of like with wrestling, everything's tradition, and I kind of like got passed down like traditional shit like from the 90s hip hop era and like 2000s.
And so, you're talking about what you do currently right now, working, a standard job so you can basically accomplish what you're dreaming.
Right. You should see people's faces whenever I say I don't really care about the job. They're like, you're ruining your life. Music, it never works. Yeah, because people like you fucking tell other people that it's not gonna work, so they stop doing it. Like, it's a fucking vicious cycle. But you gotta be strong.
So let's back up here. You talk, when you brought up Cam, you brought up parties and everything. So I guess this would be a good way to segue into how far back do we go and how did you even meet me?
Okay. Dude, what year was it? It was probably 2009 or 2000.
What was it, like 2009? Yeah.
I think it was 2009. Fuck. What was the game? Was it 2009 or 2010? I think it was 2009.
I think it was 2009, yeah.
It was SVR. That was the one with Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Yeah, SVR 2009. We met on we would, you just randomly go into matches. Like, and it'll put you in with anybody. It's a server. I was in game chat because I really didn't have any friends. It was lame. But he was in there with this guy named Samuel.
Oh god.
Fucking Samuel. Samuel had he's the epitome of a little kid on Xbox.
Basically.
Like, which he's probably an adult by now, but who knows? I hope he's still a little kid.
Bro, what if his voice just like dropped and we just talked to him one day, he's just like, sup guys?
Yo, what up?
What up, my dudes?
He was the type of kid that like his Facebook pictures looked like he was always sweaty, and he wore like an Affliction shirt, and he had gelled hair. And he definitely wore etnies. But and Adam's name was XDDX Assassin because
we're not gonna go into that.
He was in a league called
this was the period in gaming where everybody thought it was cool to have X's in their name.
What are you talking about? That never ended.
It ended. Cade just missed the memo.
No, I guess Alan missed the memo.
Yeah, so Cade is part of a group of people that, for the most part, we all only know each other in Xbox, aside from maybe like Cam and Alan, who actually live in the same state.
But we like know each other though. Like,
true.
We share some pretty personal stuff.
Yes.
But I met one of them in real life, Hunter. There's 5 of us. Well, Hunter got added to the group. The initial group was me, Adam, and then we met Alan, and then we met Cam, because Cam came with Alan. We met Alan the same way. We went into it like after me and Adam met into a match, we instantly clicked and added each other, and then we were always in parties, and then we would go into tag matches.
Oh, those were the good old days of like doing tag team matches, and Cade with his like non-puberty voice would be like, hey, we can be Jesse and Festus, and you can be Festus and do the flying biscuit, and I'll put some gravy on top with an elbow drop.
That is a legit quote. Put some gravy on that.
I'd be like, what? And then like every other match, like we do like actual tag team like crap. Like one
this was before we got into creating our own characters really really
one day
well.
it was like Brian Kendrick and Paul London or Jesse F. Festus or like the Hardys or some different.
And I was always Brian Kendrick. I'm doing the slice.
He was possessive about his Brian Kendrick.
I like Brian Kendrick a lot, especially when he became the Brian Kendrick. But okay, so we met Alan. Alan's really good. Alan's pretty good at all games. So that was like pretty fun. Yeah, he's a weirdo. No, I'm kidding. He is a weirdo. But then there was the four of us. That went on for like, dude, how long did that go on? Like, that went on from like 2009 to like 2012.
Yeah.
Because they went on though. Because when I got into high school, like my sophomore year, I kind of like stopped playing Xbox just because like I wasn't gonna be able to afford the next Xbox, and they had the next Xbox. And so I just forgot about it. And I was like, whatever.
Just drop $500, damn.
Just drop $500. Yeah. But then I met. Oh shit! I forgot to say how Hunter got added. Hunter got added because we were in this YouTube league called TXW. Yeah, TXW, and that's a call league.
So for people who don't know, on SmackDown Games, a lot of the appeal that people have is the fact that they have an entire like created section where you make movesets, you can make entrances for people, and then you can make created wrestlers. So that's where the term like, CAW call came from. And a lot of people, when you see like actual wrestling on TV, a lot of people would be like, oh, hey, let's, put together an actual wrestling league and have titles and feuds and everything and book it. And then, we can record it and put it on YouTube, put it under a catchy name, whatever. And so that became, it's still a thing now, but it was like a huge thing in like the SVR 2009, 2012-ish region.
Yeah. 2010 was pretty big for it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we got in Kate Collins, Traven Frost, fucking Onyx. Oh, shit. So whenever I got Adam in, and you could tell the owner did not want, like, that was just a favor for me to get Adam in.
Okay, so the owner is he wants it his way. Like, you could tell that this was his entire life, and it was kind of sad.
But he's really good at it. But he's like you could, if he wasn't such a dick, he'd probably get more praise.
Very true.
It's pretty cool. Like, you could do that with your entire life, but just don't be a fucking asshole about it. But yeah, he just fucking legit, and he wasn't gonna give Adam any real matches, but he made Adam.
I kind of figured that out after he named me some bullshit name.
Yeah, he said, no, your name's gonna be Onyx because somebody else's name was Adam.
Yep.
And I'm like, two people can't be called Adam. It was dumb. But Hunter was a big fan of that. He wasn't really in them, but he like followed them on YouTube.
See, that was a really fucked up thing. Like a lot of them did not like him, which I never really understood why they hated him.
Who?
Like a lot of those leagues ended up not liking Hunter. Like when we were in, do you remember? Were you in ICE?
I think I was.
So, if you remember the original episode of ICE, right? So they had this New Generation Championship, and the main event was Hunter's character, Damien Creed, taking on Priceless's character, which I forget his name, right? Ryan something, and Hunter's character was taking on somebody else. So Hunter ends up winning. But I guess they didn't like him in that match. I don't know. I think it was code for they just didn't like him.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. They probably didn't want him. They probably didn't want him cutting promos because his voice was kind of high back then.
So they sent out Priceless's character to basically take the belt off of him.
I don't get it. Yeah, dude. Like, Hunter's always had that. Like, people have always treated him like an outcast.
For the most part. I mean, I do it, but by this point, he knows I'm just being an asshole to be an asshole.
Yeah, we love him and shit. And But yeah, he definitely used to get the middle child treatment from a lot of people.
Which is actually really fucked up because he's actually really fun to hang out with.
Yeah, dude, he's really cool. He's the guy I met with, and like, I'm gonna go back to it. Like, he's the guy I met in real life. I was living in Austin, Texas, and he lives in Dallas, or around Dallas. He came down with his friend, two of his friends, and I had my roommate with me, and we went to 6th Street. And I don't know if you know what 6th Street is. It's basically like a fucking a frat dude's Bourbon Street. But so there's bars throughout the entire street. Like, so we decided we're gonna go to every single bar and drink a drink in there.
Bar hop.
Yep, bar hopping. And then we did that. We had a good old time. That was really fun. And then we started doing. Me and him did a good bit of podcasts. Space Boob.
You really did though. There's about a good 6 podcasts on his channel. Flight 96. If anybody wants to go pop him a listen, Flight 96. Also Hunter.
Formerly Flight 96 Records.
Also Hunter, we are talking a lot about you. Maybe that's code for you to come on the one-on-one. Who knows?
Yeah, you stupid fucking whore.
Pop by, say hi. Anyway.
Yeah. What if podcasts were like that? You just pop open the door. Hey, what's up?
Just pop in. Hey guys, I heard you talking about
what's up? Oh shit.
So yeah, we had the whole, YouTube league thing, and the thing that you learn quickly with those is if you're liked, you get good things. If you're hated, you don't. You lose.
Yeah.
You are booked to lose constantly.
See, I don't remember what happened. Alan says that I messaged Alan one day and I was like, yo, we're leaving TXW. And I was like, nah, that sounds too selfish. But it also sounds like me a little bit too. But,
oh no, I can tell you what happened. And that's a complete lie, because I remember it like this, unless Alan lied to me. So this was, oh wait, no. Was that the second time we were in TXW? I know one time when we were in TXW, Shannon's sister did not like me.
Well, she was a cunt.
And
excuse my language, but she was.
So straight up, we were in a party and I left. And then, I don't know if it was you or if it was Alan or if it was Cam, one of the three. One of y'all told me, hey, so I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but as soon as you left, Shannon's sister was talking mad shit about you. So me being me, I go back in there and I'm just like, hey, so, I heard you were talking about me. If you're going to talk about me, I'd rather hear it than hear somebody say that you were talking about me.
This is a little bit funny because it's Xbox Live.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going into some
That's
fucking
the
room.
thing. It's like, keep in mind, this is all on Xbox.
It's not like you're going into some room talking to some bitch like, I heard you were fucking talking about me, so you better say it to my face.
And she just okay. So anybody else would just be like, all right, you want to hear it? Then say it, matter of factly, and frank. Hey, you're this. Leave it at that. No, she decides to go off like she's some Jersey Shore region.
I think that was the reason. Okay, so I was supposed to be given a push. I was supposed to be undefeated because Shannon was taking me under his wing because he liked my character. And then fucking Alan. Oh, okay. Fucking Shannon wasn't online, and there was an episode. There was a B show, like it was SmackDown, and the guy named Solus ran that.
TXW Uprise.
Yeah, and fucking he was like, you're gonna face Draven Frost, and I was like, yeah, sure, we'll do this, and I'll finally fucking prove Alan I'm better than him. I did.
This was back when Alan's finisher was I'm gonna wrench your arm and then kick you.
Oh, that was his signature. Don't even do it.
That was his finisher. No, that was his finisher. That was legit.
No,
his finisher.
His finisher was the fucking jackhammer.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Why do I not remember that?
I remember it very vividly. He ruined my fucking chances to be a champion.
This was back when Alan couldn't create people, and his tights.
Alan sucked at creating people. It was like the most.
He's gotten so much better at it, and he'll deny it if he hears this. But it's like that was probably his worst person was who he used for TXW.
Right. I don't know why he did that. He should have been Chris Lamont.
I don't think Chris Lamont existed yet. Did Chris Lamont exist?
I'm thinking. I don't know. But anyways, fucking after that happened, Shannon like went off on Solus in a party because he was like, Cade's not supposed to fucking lose right now. And all that, like, they took it way too serious. Like, we're not in real wrestling. We are not in real wrestling. But I'm be honest.
I'm backstage politics shit.
I'm be honest, I was like in 8th grade, so I was taking this serious too. I was like, oh, motherfucker, I should have been fucking...
Cage just sitting in the background like, you tell him shit.
Yeah, you fucking tell him, even though you've known me for like 2 weeks. Fucking tell him. Dude, and then like, I don't remember what happened after that. I remember I had a match after that. I beat the fuck out of, who's that guy who sucked? And then Shannon put him under his wing.
Oh, you mean Shameless, who
Yeah,
got the
Shameless.
treatment?
Dude, I whooped his fucking ass. Like, and I wanted it to be like a story. Like, I lost my last match, and that like fucked with my integrity, and like my and all that. So I like I beat the shit out of him like crazy. Like, I was pounding his face in. I remember this one move I did. He like went to fucking like jump at me, and I midway through it fucking hit him with a forearm, and like he fell midair. And I was like, that don't just happen in video games.
But yeah, then, you know, a lot of times you see in these leagues, you know, people's heads, the leaders, get a little bit too big for them, and then they want everything and don't want to give anybody else anything, and it kind of just implodes from the inside out.
Motherfuckers want to do an RKO while wearing fur on their tights. Fucking weirdo.
Cade has this addiction to where he believes certain wrestling moves are restricted based on what you wear.
And your character.
Cade, Adam Fate did an RKO at one point.
Yeah, but you wore trunks.
I've always worn trunks.
Yeah, but that's okay. If you're doing an RKO, wear some trunks. Like, I didn't like whenever I don't like the fucking cutter Homicide used to do because he was wearing them shorts.
That was the Gringo Killer, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I know the Gringo Destroyer was the Vertebreaker.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's dumb when Cody Rhodes does that springboard cutter. Like, that makes no sense. Like, you already do a crossroads.
So, moving on from make-believe wrestling in games to, I guess, now real wrestling here. What would you say if I told you the one reason why wrestling is not as good as it could be today is because of the fans?
We had this conversation.
But it was actually a good conversation, though.
Yeah. I said yes and no. Because, one, we get to have fans truly show their love. And then on the other half, we have people that are way too entitled. Like, they feel like they're way too entitled to their opinion. And wrestling's all about pleasing the fans. So, like, they're gonna listen. And you're gonna like keep tweeting out, you're gonna keep tweeting out shit that you want, and you're gonna end up getting it, and you're not gonna like it when it happens, because you're gonna feel like it was forced, because you forced it.
And see, that's the issue that I get into with Drew McIntyre, because really, if you look at it, he's part of the pandemic era, the Thunderdome era, the no crowd era, and that's not anything that he requested. That's just how he was booked. He became the champion twice during that era.
And he blew it out the park. It was awesome.
Yeah, he blew it out the park. And then you go to Twitter. Yeah, you know, Drew McIntyre comes back. Yeah, you know, we wanted to win the Rumble. Wins the Rumble. Yeah, we're so happy. Wins at Mania. Yeah, we're so happy. Then they keep pushing him. Why are y'all pushing him so much? We don't want this. He's boring. Why did he win the title again? Stop pushing Drew. He needs to stop. Why does he keep going against Lashley? It's like, fans, in my opinion, they feel like they need to always be obeyed and always given what they want, even though what they want changes at the drop of a dime. They wanted McIntyre. As soon as they got McIntyre, they got tired of him within a month.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't feel like it's just wrestling fans. I feel like it also has a lot to do with this social media era. Like, kids are... I'll be honest, some people need to shut the hell up. Like, and they need to be learned. Like, you don't have to speak on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's not me telling you that you need to suppress stuff. You don't need to go on Twitter or Instagram or anything or YouTube and voice something when you're angry. You do not. That's called being childish. And then there's so many children on social media that they're like, oh, that's how we're supposed to feel. No. That's why wrestlers don't even get into social media like that, I feel like.
I mean, if you look at it, like, Naomi was even bullied off of her Twitter.
Right, she fucking deleted her Twitter just because fans were like telling her off because of her husband.
So Jimmy Uso got a DUI, and he's had issues with DUIs, like multiple. In this one, it's like he got a DUI, tried to attack the officer, different crap like that.
It happens.
And somehow wrestling fans decided to turn that into, why didn't Naomi do something? He obviously did this because of Naomi. Why was she there and didn't do anything? I'm like, how do you do the mental gymnastics to make that make sense?
Her job is not to keep him from doing shit.
She's not her husband's keeper.
Yeah, he has his own brain and mentality. If that's how you look at women, then that's how you look at women. That's not how women are, though.
But yeah, people were going on Twitter basically like bombarding her with questions like that, telling her to kill herself. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, like, this goes back to you don't need to be saying whatever comes to your mind. Like, and you don't need to be documenting it. Like, the other day, I saw some shit, like, like people really think, like, Trump and Obama and Biden are the reason for, like, the Iraqi war and the Taliban doing all this shit. And I'm like, y'all really didn't do any homework. Because, bro,
if you want to do
George Bush fucking really started this shit.
I mean, even if you want to go back farther than Bush, this all started with Reagan, which...
The original coke dealer, you mean? The original coke dealer?
Anything bad dealing with politics, 90% of the time can either be traced back to Reagan or farther.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people get, like, our presidents have been shit for the last, like, 20 years. And, like, there's been some good ones. Like, Obama, his job was to recuperate our nation from what George Bush did. You know, he didn't do it to 100%, but I don't think anybody could. And he did a pretty fucking good job. But people are like, nope, he didn't get us more money or more jobs. Nope.
I mean, people want to see, like, an immediate, significant decrease in, I guess, our debt. But if you look into our debt, we owe trillions of damn dollars. You can't, within 4 to 8 years, you really can't significantly decrease that.
No,
you can do it some way, but like the way
you can get started, but it's up to like the next presidents to keep starting that, like keep going with that.
But getting off of politics, because politics is the thing that
my bad.
Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions, and a lot of times those opinions end with "you suck" and "fuck you."
Yeah.
So.
You're not supposed to hate somebody because their political views.
But back on the subject of fans and everything, I forget what Royal Rumble it was. It was the Royal Rumble of the year of WrestleMania where D-Bry would end up going to the main event. So
2014?
Yeah. So Daniel Bryan was in the Rumble. Everybody, because of dirt sheets, everybody thought Daniel Bryan was the favorite to win because that's the betting odds were. That's what everybody was reporting it. This was also the Royal Rumble where they had to out the fact that Batista returned because, again, dirt sheets reported it and people already knew.
Can we talk about Batista returning? Because every time he's ever returned, I feel like he's some drama queen that just wants attention again. He'll get depressed on himself and he'll be like, you know what? I'll go back to wrestling and that'll make me happy. But you're fucking ruining people's chances and shit. Like, because you're... And, dude, you're a crappy wrestler.
He really is not as good as he used to be. Like, if he was good...
He was
good in his time, but it's like there's so many people that have come around since he left that are, like, in my opinion, better than him.
Right. he was the prototype for what a lot of big guys are now. I'll give him
Yeah.
that.
But now it's
But-
like you see so many different big guys that can do what he can do, and better or more.
Right. Like, I think Roman's way better than Batista.
But I mean, in that Rumble, so Daniel Bryan's in it. I don't know. He got eliminated very early, like very early. And as soon as he got eliminated, that set the tone for the entire match. The fans didn't want it, and the fans let it known because the entire time that match was going on, you basically heard just as many boos compared to just as many cheers.
And you know WWE, they're gonna go over the tape and they're gonna hide those boos with cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's what WWE does. They will have the people in the truck edit in cheers.
Yep. And they'll do that live sometimes too for the TV audience.
And sometimes it's actually really bad, and you can tell that it's edited.
Yeah. But like we have good shit in wrestling, dude. We have like because the whole Kenny Omega thing going on. That's been going on for like 2 years now.
What do you think is the best thing in wrestling right now, though?
Oh. Well, you already know. I think the best wrestler right now is Jay White.
Dawson from Dawson's Creek.
Yes. No, Pacey from Dawson's Creek. So, dude, that's hard. Because it was the Hangman thing. The Hangman story, I think, is the best storyline in wrestling in the past 2 years.
The Hangman story isn't. They're not done. He's just.
They're not.
I think they're gonna. They're letting it cool a little bit, so when they bring him back, it'll be a much bigger reaction.
Like he still needs the payoff is gonna be him winning the AEW World Championship. That's
the biggest mistake they can make is having Kenny drop the title before Hangman gets the chance.
Yes, that'd be so stupid. Like Kenny already dropped the TNA World title to Christian, which is a good decision. My other decision would have been Jay White, but Jay White's not having a championship storyline right now.
Well, I mean, he is a champion. He's a never open weight champion
Yeah,
for NJPW.
right. Which that's kind of like not the most important title.
I mean, but it made him it made him basically the only Grand Slam in NJPW.
No, he's the first ever. Now it's Hiroshi. Remember?
Oh, now
Hiroshi. Yeah, Hiroshi won the U.S. title, so now he's the second ever Grand
But did
Slam.
Hiroshi ever have the open weight title? I don't think he did.
Isn't that who Jay White beat?
I don't think it was him.
I swear, like that's who he faced for the Never Championship.
I am not sure. Let me see here, because that's a good question. I think he was open weight. As far as I knew, Jay White is the only.
At this year's wrestling Dantaku event, Jay White won the Never Openweight Championship from Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh well, yeah. So Jay White and Tanahashi are the only Grand Slams, basically.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh man, look at Kenny. Kenny couldn't even be a Grand Slam. Kenny held every title but that.
See, a lot of American fans don't know who Jay White is. This dude is the perfect in-ring worker, in my opinion. It's like little things, like whenever he came on Impact for the second time, the Good Brothers went to go attack him. And usually, like wrestlers, when it's 1-on-2 and the one guy's supposed to beat the two guys, like it's not sold very well because like one guy always has to act like he's dazed for longer than he should be, so the guy can attack him. No, Jay White, he did the thing where he punched one of them in the face frontwards, and then he hit his elbow because the guy was behind him, and he just elbowed him with the same fucking arm. And I was like, yes, it's that little shit. It makes it look a little bit real. So I can't be seeing some one guy being dazed for like a whole minute. Like, who's dazed for a whole minute?
I think for me though, like the best thing in wrestling right now, nothing that WWE is doing, even though Roman is really good.
Yeah, Roman's really good.
The best thing in wrestling right now, actually, you know what? It is WWE. I would say very close to the best thing in wrestling right now is Shinsuke. My dude, Shinsuke, will always be my number
right
one.
Now?
Dude, right now, Shinsuke is what everybody wanted him to be during the time where he won the Royal Rumble.
I guess I haven't watched him in a while. My favorite. My favorite Shinsuke is fucking whenever he was wearing the red tights with the black kick pads, and he had short hair.
So like WWE, it's no surprise. It's no, I guess, assumption surprise that they fumbled his basically only world title push, and that's probably why he hasn't gotten another one, because they fucked it up but blamed it on him. Won the Royal Rumble, his first time in it. Win after AJ, when AJ was WWE champion. We thought we were gonna get another Wrestle Kingdom quality bout between AJ and Shinsuke. Didn't happen. It was horrible. Then they decide to, counteract that by spontaneously turning him heel. Didn't work. Kept him heel for years, and he kind of just lingered. And then now he's getting that insane push. They're letting him, do his whole little King of Strong style gimmick that he had in Japan that he should have had from the very beginning. They're giving him wins, racking them up. The fans are now, in love and falling back in love with him. And now last Friday, it finally culminated, and now he's Intercontinental again, which, if you know Shinsuke, it's never about being a world champion with him. His latter half of his career in NJPW,
he was the world champion.
Well, he was the world champion in NJPW, but I'm saying that was more so in his earlier career. Like his latter half of his career, toward the end of his run in NJPW, he was the person that made the Intercontinental title over there relevant.
Yeah, he's a rock star, man.
I mean, to me, that's really his purpose.
He's kind of he's kind of like some like a rapper who starts out and he's everything you've ever wanted in a wrestler or a rapper, and then
he has everything. The only thing he really can't do outside of Japan, because English is good, but it's not good enough to actually cut promos, is cut promos. But I mean, who needs to cut promos when you can just kick that much ass in the ring?
Yeah. Dude, whenever he used to do that Death Valley driver, that was badass. Now that armbar used to be badass.
I mean, that's that armbar that I think he beat Orton with, honestly.
I just miss him wearing tights and kick pads with the short hair, back when him and Hiroshi first started and shit.
It was him, it was Hiroshi, and I forget the third guy, but it's the way NJPW works, there's always three people that define an era, so you can basically break up eras of NJPW based on those three people.
Yeah, this one right now is Will Ospreay, Jay White, and what's his face?
Who's the third?
The Golden Lover.
Oh, Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi. Yeah, those three are fucking crazy good. And this is the first time it's been two. They're not Americans, but they're two white dudes. One's from England and one's from
New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand.
And then of course Ibushi is Japan.
Yeah, he's Japanese. He's a baller. He wears the same fucking trunks his whole life.
But basically, they have a junior heavyweight division, which is their cruiserweight division. But out of the three, two of them have been junior heavyweights and have broken into the heavyweight scene and have proven that they could have been heavyweights the entire time.
All three of them have been the heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah.
All three of them, dude.
And I think Jay White's only been the heavyweight champion once, and that's all it really needed to solidify him.
That's his story, though. I don't see him as a guy who just racks up a bunch of world titles. They gave it to him once for his legacy, and it was a good run. And then, they gave him the U.S. title after that. Then, didn't he have the Intercontinental after that?
I was about to say, I think he's been IC, and now he's open weight, which, in my opinion, open weight is probably one of the hardest divisions, because you're facing junior heavyweights, you're facing heavyweights, you're facing anybody from any division.
See, and like Will Ospreay can't put that finisher on anybody.
Well, I mean, Will Ospreay has a lot of things that are his finishers. Like, go to YouTube right now. There's like top 20,
Oh, yeah.
top 50
Oh yeah.
finishing moves of Will Ospreay. Like, he has moves to get it done. It's just he likes doing. God, I forget something breaker, Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker, which is a tiger lift into a swinging neck breaker.
That's his finisher of choice. But a lot of times, like if there's somebody bigger than him, he's probably going to either go for a high flying move, the Os Cutter, different things.
Yeah, the Os Cutter's lame as shit.
Really, it's basically an RKO off the rope. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. That makes no sense. If somebody was about to hit that on me, I'd just simply move out the way. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't get with the fucking. Like, why the fuck was John Cena doing a springboard stunner?
The question is, why was Randy Orton not doing a springboard?
Because he knows his character. That's why I liked Randy so much. He knew his character.
So what are your thoughts on AEW? I think, like what is the one thing when you're watching AEW, what are your thoughts?
I see an open creative freeness, and not like I don't mean by like storyline. I mean like they're allowing these wrestlers to be who they want to be, and they're not putting them in a corner. And I don't see like them competing with anybody. I just see them existing. So I don't think they're gonna go down ever.
And see, I see that creative freedom, but just being real here, I feel like that's the one thing that killed WCW.
What?
Everybody had creative freedom. And I feel like that's the one thing that killed WCW because nobody wanted to agree to any endings. Everybody wanted their matches to go to benefit them. And,
right, but that was a different era when everybody
that's a different era, but it's still
like people were like those wrestlers were very selfish. And also, I don't think anybody in AEW has fucking creative control clauses to the point where you can't do shit without fucking their say so.
I think
like they fuck like WCW went down because they fucked themselves with contracts.
I mean, I don't see the creative thing as an issue. What I see as the bigger issue is AEW. I feel like they need to stop trying to recruit and more so focus on who they have. Like when you have one show that's 2 hours, your second show which just debuted and is an hour, and you have a roster now of like gotta be getting near like 100 people.
Well, I also see AEW as just like a pool for indie wrestlers.
I mean, true, but it's like, what good is being an indie wrestler and being exposed on that show when you get exposed once and then you kind of get lost in the shuffle because there's so many other people?
Yeah, that's how WCW was going. I don't know, man. I do like that team. I like how Impact just like slowly, like Impact has their shit.
Impact is getting back to where they were.
Yeah, dude. Impact has their they're getting their shit together. Like their shows make sense.
Yeah. which they were going through a rough patch, like around like 2012, not 2012, I'd say like 14 to maybe 16. They were going through a roughish year.
But that's not to say they didn't have their moments. Like they had their moments throughout then.
But it's like right now, like they have, now AEW is the place where a lot of former WWE people go. It used to be Impact. There's still some former WWE people in Impact, but not as many. But
Brian Myers is number one contender for the Impact.
Yeah, Brian Myers is insanely good. You would never have known that because Kurt Hawkins was shit.
I really love his Bret Hitman Hart little attire going on.
Like Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder is actually being allowed to be he is. Matt Cardona is the damn GCW World Heavyweight Champion, a deathmatch league.
Matt Cardona is the best thing that's happened to indie wrestling in the last 5 years.
He beat an established deathmatch legend who has literally almost killed people in the ring. Matt Cardona didn't even bat an eye, got in there with him, bled like hell, and lived
Dude.
on the tail.
He went through a fucking glass table and it like cut like a major fucking thing on his arm, and you just saw immediately a pool of blood coming out. It was bad. But dude,
to be honest, there was a he tweeted out, because people didn't believe he bled that much. The attire that he was wearing was white before that match.
yeah, and it was red after.
People still don't believe it, but yeah, it was white before that match.
My only say in this is, dude, change your fucking finisher. Change your finisher.
I mean, yes, but by this time he's had that finisher for so long.
It's
If
not
he
cool.
were to change it, I mean, it kind of fits him now.
I'd keep it. I just wouldn't. I would just have another finisher to be my main.
And
finisher.
I mean, and nobody else does it, so I think that's why he keeps it, because it's something nobody else really does.
I don't think anybody wants to do it.
I mean, it's a leg area. Hey, I mean, all I'm saying is people want spontaneous finishers and not, hey, wrestler number 26, let's do DDT number 44.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with the DDT. I would do a DDT.
Hey, my girl Alexa brought it back, but you know.
Act like the Raven effect wasn't the most wicked DDT.
But finally, for the last part of this podcast, one final wrestling-related question: what do you think of all the current WWE releases?
I think they have a plan. I think that they were gonna release all these people anyways.
Mhm.
It didn't matter when it happened. They just can't do it all at once, because then the fans are gonna know what's up. They're gonna be like, oh, they're cleaning house because they got something up their sleeve. I think they really, really like what people are saying, that they're gonna they're going downhill and shit. It's like, dude, it's WWE, man. They're gonna fucking find a way, always.
I mean, I think with all the releases, so a lot of the fans are like, oh my god, you released this person, oh my god, you released this person, oh my god, so-and-so deserved better. And my whole thought process here is,
They would do better outside of WWE if you wanted them
that,
to do better.
and you say they deserve better, but I'm pretty sure you only cared about them now because they got released.
Right, dude, like, I don't give a fuck about Bronson Reed. I really don't. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I will tell you straight up, my reasoning for why Reed was let go, and people will be like, oh, well, Reed should have been let go because Vince McMahon likes bigger guys. That is true, but there's this rumor going around of when Bronson Reed was compared to, you know, Top Dollar Hit Row, and how the size difference of Bronson Reed was so much smaller compared to that dude. That's what Vince McMahon saw, and he's basically like, okay, you're not as big as you could be. So in his mind, he can't use you.
I just feel like people like him wouldn't fit into the WWE.
I feel like he'd be better in NJPW.
Yeah, like someone like that or Impact, dude. Like, I feel like he would blow it out the park in Impact.
I mean, Impact needs people. I mean,
And like, when I say that, I don't mean like Impact's terrible and it's tanking. Like,
they're really not.
Impact has talent, and they're really like, they know what they're fucking doing. Like NWA, they know what the fuck they're doing. It just because WWE has the biggest fan base, it doesn't mean they're the best. at all.
Exactly, and that's for anybody who watches this, who is listening, and you only watch WWE. Venture out, go watch NWA, go watch NJPW, and I will say NJPW, it is an acquired taste. Why is it an acquired taste?
Go watch Nick Aldis versus Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World Championship.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
I mean, at NWA 73, Trevor Murdoch is putting his career on the line for one final shot at the NWA Championship.
Which, like, I don't see him winning, but I wish he does. Because, like, Nick Aldis, he's had the fucking title for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's about time. It's about time.
Just venture out, watch NWA, watch NJPW. For NJPW, I'd recommend watching individual matches first, because they range from 15 to 40 plus minutes.
Dude, they also NJPW YouTube, like they have like some nerdy shit for nerdy like wrestling fans, like little like promos, like telling you the history of like Chaos Team and shit. It's
I mean, and even watch AAA, and I know for NJPW and AAA, it's not in our language. How am I supposed to watch it? Watch the matches. You understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If you're more into like the fans going crazy, don't watch NJPW because
It's
they just sit there. They sit there and
over in Japan, it's more of a politeness thing. You clap at high spots, and that's really it. You don't hear any cheers, any chants. It's really just clapping, and even then, you hear that like big finishers, the beginning, the end, and high spots. Other than that, it's kind of quiet.
But like the thing is, those people in Japan respect wrestling way more than we will ever.
Yeah, it's a respect thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to like a poetry club. You just snap.
Yeah. But so Cade, remind these people, where can they find you?
On Earth.
Oh my God.
No, you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music. I ain't put it on SoundCloud yet, just because like SoundCloud kind of like puts a filter over your music and it kind of sounds terrible. I'm also on Tidal. It's Cade and the Nebula and Son, and the album's called Jovian because I don't know if you know this, but the species on Jupiter, if there ever was a species on Jupiter, they'd be called Jovians. And like I don't know if you remember that little saying that girls used to say, like boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. And like that was kind of the whole basis. Like, yeah, I'm dumb as fuck. And also like my album, like my music is a story. Like from the first album to the second album, it's all a connecting story. Like the first album was called Under the Red Sun. This one's called Jovian. And eventually I'm gonna get to a place called Nebuland. But right now I'm kind of like, I'm traveling.
Like, oh son,
won't you come wash away the rain?
All right, and that's about as much as we can sing before I get DMCA'd. But yes, as always, anybody that I'm with, their links will be plugged in the description below. And we will see you, I will say next week, but I try to get you guys good guests. So maybe it'll be next week, maybe it won't.
Maybe we'll have Cam on.
Maybe, I'm trying to get Cam on. We tried to get him on for this to do, a whole three-way.
2 seasons a pod.
Yeah, a whole 3-way podcast thing, but it really didn't work out. I think he just wants he's mad that he just wants an entire podcast to himself.
Yeah. Cam's a little baby, but he's a cool baby.
But I will catch you in the next episode.
Check you later. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, subscribe and drop a comment, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on YouTube at FatefulEndingz and Twitter at Mr_Adam G.
I always follow him.
Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Go One-on-One.